Hey guys, it's the start of the week, kind of. Well, it's Wednesday already. Fuck me. I guess that's the life of a free man. I don't even know what day it is. Anyway, what I like to do every now and then is just check the markets and just like do a clean new analysis. And I thought maybe I will include you in that. Maybe we'll find some valuable info out of it. So I have the list here, and let's go over it. Some of the charts I'm just going to chart completely new. Some of them I did right now, so I'm going to talk about them. But let's start with Bitcoin. So I think it's a very, very simple thing right now. This level right here is a super, super important level that we're at right now, and it should be support, right? It's literally at the fucking level, and this is also the low that kind of dictates macro market structure. So I would really, really want to see a bounce here, like for reals. That would be brilliant. Um, just going to readjust this a little bit. Yeah, I think this is cool. So if this doesn't hold, I dare to say we go all the way down to 30K easily. If it does hold, we kind of need to break above this level again. So, over here, previous support, we need to go above that, and then we can talk about some kind of continuation. But usually, when Bitcoin goes down like this and it finds a bottom, it kind of ranges for quite a long time, and that's not a bad thing either. Like if it ranges, good, that gives us space with alts and other narratives to get some breathing room to really do some stuff. And yeah, it's honestly not looking that good. Like this downtrend is pretty fierce. Like the momentum is quite big. But let's see what happens over here. This is really, really important. With Ethereum, it's the same level, except that we have slightly different market structure, but it's the same concept. Like we have this over here that needs to hold in order to have market structure intact of having higher highs, higher lows. And yeah, this needs to hold. This can go deeper and play some shenanigans at the bottom, at the low, but maybe it won't. Who knows? Oh yeah, hey, that was the plan I drew not that long ago. Look what happened. All right, let's get into the alts that we're watching. So first up is Keeper. It's a little bit sad that I got into the castle that late because like this setup was absolutely amazing. Like from here, this one. Oh man, that was just brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice. Anyway, um this is kind of like a high time frame level that mattered. If we check lower time frame, the 4 hour, you can see that this was support, resistance, 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 and it kind of broke through and it broke really, really nicely. And this is something that I want to see many alts yet do, where it breaks to the upside and then it just kind of returns into it with a flagging return. And this is a beautiful, beautiful flagging return, by the way. So the higher this goes, the part that, like if we get into here at resistance, we start getting bullish and we're like, oh my God, maybe this runs away. But that doesn't really matter because this is just like the first impulse wave that we desperately need in order to turn bullish, and then we can buy the retests, right? If you want to be a retest trader and you want to be buying stuff like this or like this, you need to let this happen. And the further this goes up, the better, actually, especially if it takes out some other pivots on the left, like this one or this one. This is absolutely amazing. And then we would check on a couple of things. First off, probably can just buy the range high blindly and have your stop loss over here. That would work. Or or you can also, that's an option, wait for this corrective structure to do its thing, and then you can buy the breakout. That's a bit more of a safe approach. But this already had a higher low over here, which is good, with equal highs all around this place. But then when we finally got the higher high and the market structure changed to bullish, that's when we are really, really trying to fish for some long positions. The MAs look beautiful as well. This was awesome. But anyway, what we have now is a bounce from here, the expected bounce, and we went up all the way to all-time high resistance, right? And we went in a fashion of doing it as a rally base, another rally and another base, and then the rally. So we have two bases here, this one and this one. And we can plan our trades around those. The thing is, since we bounced from the top down right at all-time highs, we have to understand that this is now the capping factor of our risk to reward. Like any trade that we take, our target is always gonna be here, always. So whether we take it from here, and that would be a two, what is this? Mm, this trade, actually, yeah, you would have to have the stop loss over here. So that's a 1.2R, that's not much. It would be much better to take this trade, which then is a 2.6R. You see, you kind of have to fit these risk to rewards into the chart, and this one just that's a problem with mature trends that have history to the left, right? Because once you reach all-time high resistance, it's kind of capping you every single time. That's why it's always good to take trades like over here, because those are at the beginning of the trend, and you still have the majority of the trend mm, yet to happen. And that would be a 7R. That would just be absolutely amazing. Although the first target would be over here at the 3R, then you could probably take the second one over here. But yeah, those are the thoughts on KP3R, whatever that is. Alright, Butterfly. Man, I can't say good things about Butterfly, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, we're approaching some kind of level of support here, but you could say the same thing about this one. You could say the same thing about this one, and nothing held. So right now, this, which is probably the 2K, it's okay to sometimes just take it and round it up. That's the 2K level. That's going to be serious resistance right now. And we are clearly in a downtrend. We had a low here, we had an equal low here, and then we broke down, right? So now we are officially in a downtrend. How long? I don't know. I don't know, but I see all of you accumulating Butterfly, and I'm like, okay, well, there's clearly a fundamental reason behind it. But I can't do it, man. I can't. Although, if this was to hold, you do have like one clearly defined level of risk that you could take this one, right? Yeah, you could take this. But, ugh, I don't know. What I would much rather see happening is price maybe starting to range a bit, and then eventually it breaks out, and we can buy the retest over here. That would, in my opinion, be a way safer approach. Okay, so that's Butterfly. All right, now we have this stuff. Wow. Um, okay. Nice breakout. Nice level over here. Okay, so I would definitely be looking at this order block right here. Is it green? Should be green. All right. Let me check the 15 as well, just to somehow see where the order block is hidden, if there is any. Oh, it already got retested over here. Wow, nice. Didn't see that. Oh yeah, right here. Okay, so that's not so cool because that's gonna be the second test already. But hey, whatever, that's cool. We're still above the EMAs. We're in a clear uptrend. One thing that I don't like too much is that you can clearly see the steam that Metis had over here. Like clear higher highs, shallow retracements, and now we're kind of reaching the point where we are not in an early trend anymore because we have deeper corrections. Now it's a way more mature trend. I'm not saying it is oh, never mind. Actually, if you check the daily, this is a very, very mature trend already. So Seeing that we only did a tiny, tiny higher high here, maybe we are gonna see a bearish divergence here. Let me check. And we do, yeah. So we have a higher high in price, we have a lower high in RSI, which is kind of a momentum indicator by itself. So this is definitely losing some steam, and I would not feel comfortable buying this. No way. It's just no. Too mature of a trend. I don't like this. Okay, ALK X. I thought that had a pretty good setup, didn't it? Oh yeah, it did. This one. But didn't hold. So the moment we broke up here, this was kind of an SR flip. And this candle, maybe this candle, like if you want to be really safe, because this is just a peekaboo. But in general, like if you see a break into new market structure, you can kind of check it with the order block that makes that happen. And if you have a clear close below that order block, that's when you get the fuck out, because basically the entire idea is invalidated. Maybe if you took a trade over here, you would define your risk with the low, which is cool. But then you can micromanage your trades kind of, and you can check here and be like, okay, well, if this happens already, it kind of invalidates my idea. And it's based on a close, candle close, on a 4 hour. I only trade the 4 hour and the daily. So sometimes if you would wait for a 4 hour close, like at these levels, you could get epically wrecked, right? You could just get completely fucked because something is gonna dump or rug, whatever, and by the time it closes, you're down way more than your initial risk, uh, than how your initial risk was defined. Which is why you can micromanage it. And even though this is actually your stop loss and this is how much money you're willing to lose, if you see something like this happening, inside of the trade, you can be like, nah, fuck this. I'm out. Because you can see a clear, nice structure that didn't manage to break to the upside as expected and instead broke to the downside, showing weakness. Why would you want to be in weakness? So, yeah, that was the way to get out. Anyway, now, looking at this, I would say we are at a super, super important level once again, just like many others. So, yeah, let's mark that up. That's support. So, what's the approach here? Um, just randomly buying is probably not the way to go. Although, is this what broke market? Nah, it's this one. It's this one, and that had a pretty nice bounce too. Okay, so the approach right now would be to go to a lower time frame, which is the 4 hour, and wait for a change in market structure. Basically, we're trying to wait for this to happen again and take the trade again, just lower, you know? So maybe we're gonna start ranging over here, defining it somehow, or maybe we're gonna put in some kind of wedge, whatever it could be. But then eventually we'll break to the upside, creating a higher high, and then we can maybe start fishing for an entry. But right now, I don't think that's gonna happen, or at least it doesn't look that way just yet. Okay, RDPX. So you guys buying that as well? Let's see. Let's see. Wow. Okay. So, first of all, first thing that comes to mind is this trend line. So, this had crazy momentum. How much did this shit run? Wow. Just a casual 11x, nothing too big. But anyway, it ran up here. This entire thing is just one big leg. Just like this one was, you know, this leg, this leg. Yeah, now we're gonna have a correction eventually. And I would say we might correct down here because, first of all, this was previous all-time high, so it's resistance turning into support, and also it's a huge, huge order block right here to change market structure. So, given the fact that we have broken the trend line, And let me also check the momentum. Okay, there's no divergence. Look, to be honest, there is no bearish sign just yet. There isn't. Like, okay, this is a bit of a deeper correction than we have seen ever before. Maybe here. Yeah, it's definitely deeper. But the low is somewhere over here, you know. So this is still just a very acceptable bull market pullback. This could easily continue. All that the trend line tells us is the momentum with which this is gonna grow. So what's totally possible is that we're gonna do something like this easily, but the moment we lose a low like this one or this one, we are gonna be looking for a potential trend reversal. And I think if that happens, the first level in which I would ever be interested in buying is somewhere around here, and not just blindly, you know, because after all, that's going to be a very big, wow, like 70%. That's a huge correction. So I would like to see some kind of pattern boosters down there. What I mean by that is some kind of price action occurrences that are going to boost our odds that it's going to go our way. So maybe a daily hammer right at support or something like that. That would be very nice. But right now I would definitely not be buying this because this shit is up 11x, man, with this kind of structure. It needs correcting. It needs a correction so badly. So I wouldn't be buying this. Okay, here's Toke. Wow, okay. Looks like this might be invalidation, finally. Um, Let me change one thing over here because this is kind of the order block that led to it. Yeah. So this needs to hold. If I get a close below, I'll be out. I was just playing around this thing, I believe. Where did I enter? Uh, oh, okay, on this one. Yeah, I'm not very happy with this. Like, this is not a lower low just yet. It's like equal lows. Anything that is into this order block, it doesn't matter how low it goes as long as it's inside. Like, this one, even if it goes here, I don't consider this a lower low. It's all equal lows into this order block, eating a bit more into it. But that's okay. As long as this can hold, we can we can easily bounce still. But if it doesn't, once we get a close below here, I say we're screwed. And I would want to be out of this trade, unfortunately. Yeah, definitely a very, very important level here. Let's check the daily as well. Yeah, you can see resistance kind of tried to break through, turn this into support for a tiny while, lower bounce, breaker, and then again support here, and now resistance, and we expect this to be support, and it was over here, which is nice. But now this better be going up, honestly. Uh, yeah, it just kind of sucks that we can't have uptrends, man. I feel like the entire timing around the market right now is not the best. But whatever. Yeah, that's Toke. Like definitely a decent buy here if you want to have a really, really tight risk to reward. So if you bought here, your risk would actually be just here. So it's like 4%. You could really load up on this shit based on slippage. But yeah, CVX. All right. Um, Yo, let's get a new chart. Okay. Let's mark up the important levels first, which is this one. Definitely this one. That's the most important level for us right now. Is it green? Yeah. All right. So, what is the general expectation? Also, let me mark up this resistance because that's a pretty clear one. Hello? Thank you. Boom. That's resistance. All right. So, we kind of created a lower low, right? We have this entire structure over here, whatever that is, some kind of channel thing. We broke out of there, went to the first high time frame resistance, which was over here, and now reversed. Now, given that we have created a higher high here and we have clearly changed market structure, we have a higher high, which is awesome. It's a really steep one. Now we need to have a higher low as well. We don't have a higher low just yet, which blows. Um, so I would be buying right here, probably, unless there is like a really, really nice hammer candle, then I might. But no, what I would like to see instead is a change in market structure and maybe buying a flip. So looking at this, I would say this is the level, and I'm gonna mark it with F because that's the flippity. So yeah, if the market goes from here and creates a higher high, that signifies to me, or it tells me that yes, this correction is breaking out, which would mean that the market wants to continue higher, right? But if that doesn't happen, like this whole thing, right? If you check, this whole move, this whole move, this whole move, that's like the high time frame move. And we are now in the high time frame correction, and we expect the high time frame move up here, but the change happens on the lower time frame already. So now we are looking for the first signs of reversal on the lower time frame, and that would be exactly this. So yeah, I would be a little bit more patient. This doesn't look bad, but I would be a bit more patient. That's all I'm saying. Mm, which kind of sucks because I'm in CVX. Eh. Yeah, but honestly, it does look good. I can also mark up this block over here. Yeah, which we interacted with right now. So it's a decent setup, you know? It's actually a decent setup. If you would like to take it, if you're bullish, this looks pretty nice. If you want a bit more confirmation, wait for this and buy over here. Over here. So yeah. Cosmos. Oh, oh, think. What is this? Okay. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, cool. It was this order block. Nice. All right. Um, that was the setup. I mean, if you wanted to buy, yeah, that was the setup, definitely. We could even go as far as saying, okay, the order block that changed market structure. Let me go one by one. Let me first actually mark up some levels. So definitely a level over here. That's a level of support. Oops, support. So let's see. Where is resistance? hmm Somewhere over here, I guess. Yeah. Mm, all right. Anything else? No, probably not. Just this. It's resistance. All right. So we got over here into resistance, right? And now we started correcting. And where would you expect some kind of level of support? Well, since we had a supply over here, well, how it often works is that if you have a level of supply that eventually gets broken, it turns into demand. And this is kind of the high that we needed in order to change market structure. And you can probably go even a little deeper and try to catch the order block that actually made the difference, and that's this one. And the moment, like, let's go over here because we're already late and this is hindsight, I know, but I just want to explain a little bit here. So this is the high that needs to be broken, the supply, right? It didn't break here. We got a very nice doji candle over here, or whatever this is, hanging man. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. But here we made a higher high, and we're gonna look for the order block that initiated this entire move, which is right here. And the moment it breaks like this, it was on volume and everything. That's very nice. We can probably leave a limit right above. And as you can see, immediately it went into that. This is something I've learned from TraderMain just very recently. I mean, I have a good understanding and a good knowledge of order blocks and supply demand trading, but this is a neat little trick that I really like. So yeah, we went up, went up. It's always good to narrate these markets a little bit. So this point, no longer interested in this one, but here this was a brilliant setup, like buying over here, maybe on a breakout even, like over here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. But right now, what is right now? Look, right now we're at resistance. That's all I have to say about it. And until we break it, I don't think there is a good risk to reward ratio here because, as I said before, no matter where we take a trade, this is always going to be our target, you know? And ideally, this would be the stop loss. So now you're just playing around with the mid. Where do you enter? And you only enter on good risk to reward. So where would that be? Well, at least 2 to 1. So at least an entry over here. But then again, you need to check how price has actually behaved. How did price um, interact with this level? How did it approach the level? And all that. It's really important. But yeah, this is just like, nah, we're probably not gonna trade Phantom now. Maybe if it gets down here again, for some reason, maybe Bitcoin poops. If that happens, we can probably take that trade and we can put our stop loss just below the order block. So yeah, that's Phantom. Wow, FXS looks absolutely terrible. Anyway, um, this should be resistance. Does that line up on the 4 hour? It does. Beautiful. So that's red. Well, no, it's green. Sorry. It's support. So at this level, I think we're gonna go down here easily, and we're gonna check something that shifted market structure. And this one, nah, that was just a peekaboo. So instead, I'm gonna check the daily first. There it is. This is the order block that led into the change of market structure. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, maybe we can get a tighter one. I don't know. Maybe we can go like over here. So yeah, if we approach this level with something like this, like bounce here a little bit and bam, we get over here. And maybe if we on the daily print a nice hammer, we could trade that right away. But if we don't, we're probably just gonna wait for the interaction on the lower time frame, and eventually, when we create a higher high, we can buy the retest, something like that. Near, um, ooh, ooh, okay, approaching something I've marked up before. Let's check it out. But first, let me make some magic lines, whatever the fuck this is. Okay, something that's relevant. Let's see. Okay, definitely this level, 100%. This is very relevant. Um, green, motherfucker. Support. Why is it not in the middle? Boom. Okay. So we kind of ran away from this. So now when I zoom in, I would like to see an order block around here, and that's where I want to time my trade. So let's see. There it is. There's an order block. Um, this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing. So right now, definitely not the place to be long, in my opinion. If anything, we want to be long on this retest because we ran into it, right? We created some resistance over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. Then we finally broke it. I think it's fair to expect a flip here. especially since it has so many interactions and it's a fresh, not yet tested level. So yeah, something around this we could buy somewhere over here and expect more upside. So let's see if that happens. Oh, what is this? Hmm, okay. Right. So looks like this is the level of support. And now we're in a really, really ranging market, right? And this is the point of breakdown. A point of breakdown is basically a level where you can see a big candle appearing. Like very often, that's the level where kind of support breaks, and it's also where there's going to be resistance in the past, in the future, sorry. So since this is a ranging market, what we want to see is a breakout from the range and a retest, and then we can buy. I'm not into buying breakouts on the breakouts of ranges. The reason for that is very simple. More often than not, what you will see is some kind of liquidity grab, some kind of shenanigans, what I like to call it. It's just like around the range extremes over here. Whoa, what happened? And over here, that's where like people get bamboozled, okay? Early breakout traders get in too early and they get wrecked. So that's why it goes up sometimes, but then immediately down, and you get these V-shaped returns. We don't like that. Instead, what we want to see is a break upside, ideally taking out this pivot as well, then a return, and then going up. So that's the plan with osmosis. Sushi. Sushi. What to say about sushi? I don't know, man. Big downtrend, definitely. Let's do this. Yeah. A huge downtrend. Absolutely massive. Um, this level, yeah, some kind of level of support. Just gonna mark it up as S. And this is where we would now expect a shift in market structure. So let's go into a lower time frame and check that out. And as you can see, we do have that. We do have that. Let's go to the law, whatever. So this whole thing broke out, right? And this is our wave one, potential wave one. And now we are correcting, and we're really deep in that correction already, which I don't really like because I would expect something better. But whatever. Let's check this out. So, hmm, there was a little bit of a bamboozle over here going on. You see where it closed above and it kind of looked like a higher high just based on market structure, but you could instantly dismiss it by seeing this point of breakdown over here and seeing, ah, okay, so this is the real resistance. So this is the flippity. Let's mark that up. This is what we want to see flipped right now. And that's probably actually changed. Like that was the level this entire time, but now we got lower. We're creating lower lows. So this entire structure is gonna change. And I want to see a level that was support before, like here, 1, 2, 3, is now turning into resistance. So I would expect that we maybe go a little deeper, and then eventually maybe we can break out and buy this. That's like a potential scenario, right? But just the fact that I don't know, man. I don't know. This just it doesn't look too good. Because again, just like in the previous ones where I talked about being capped, here we are capped by the high time frame trend line. So whatever setup we take, let's say this actually happens, we will have to count uh, on resistance being here. And the further this trade goes, the longer it goes on, the lower our targets can be because it's a declining trend line, right? So I don't think we're gonna find any interesting trades on sushi in the near term. But let's see. It's also a huge, huge market cap, so no wonder. What's this? Oh, it's very similar to this one, to KP3R. Just like when I said this candle here was perfect, that's pretty much the same story with Octopus, because this one was just perfect. It was amazing. That was a great setup. But yeah, anyway, what can we do now? Right now, we are in wave what? One, two, three, four, five. This is a corrective wave and it's wave six. And for the first time, you can see that we are actually, well, we're super duper close to closing below the tunnel. That's already something I don't really like to see. But hey, overall, this was resistance, which now turned into support. And we could see that when it ran up, this would be the place to buy. And we could have gained some nice gains. But right now, um, this looks okay. Like, it kinda does. This is the point of breakdown and also what I would call the flip. This level just got flipped now, and we're waiting for a retest. Now, maybe I would like to see, hmm, one, two. It's already very far. Like, just the same problem as always. Like, even if we entered here, the target is here. It cannot be higher. It cannot be. It's already going up too much, you know, and I don't feel safe entering this after 5x. I just don't. I'd much rather wait for new narratives and stuff like that. It's just everything seems so overheated. But yeah, let's say you did this trade, which is in my opinion absolute nonsense because this is now correcting down. Let's go to the 15-minute. This is now correcting down, and we don't have really clearly defined risk. I guess maybe you could reverse engineer and be like, okay, I'm expecting this market to go up here one more time, and I'm entering here. Like, how far can I put my stop loss in order to have at least 2 to 1? And that would be over here. But there's no breakout, you know, there's no breakout from this corrective structure that would signal me that the market wants to continue up. And if the breakout happens, we'd probably enter somewhere over here, and this is the target. I mean, no, it's just no. There's not gonna be any trades on Octo, I think. Curve looks like shit. I already sold it. Fucking curve, man. It looked so good with the head and shoulders and everything. It really looked nice. But in the end, I guess I should have stayed more focused on the big picture. This triple tap, where you can clearly see that they are higher highs, quote unquote, but they're not really significant higher highs. Okay, they're just like small peekaboos above. And this is a triple tap, and I think we're gonna correct from here and go way, way lower. I might be wrong though, might be wrong, who knows? But this trend line has been here for a while. One, two, three, four, five, six. This is the seventh touch. I wouldn't be surprised to see this just correct. And taking this whole move into consideration, okay, it's interesting. This is volatile as fuck. Jesus Christ. This is very volatile. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. Purely based on price action, this is still bullish. Is it though? Yeah, honestly, guys, sometimes not knowing what's up is totally fine, and I have no idea what's up here, so I'm gonna skip curve completely. Yeah, okay. So, very clear level on ribbon over here. Very clear support. Was resistance before, maybe even here, then broke. Let's go to the lower time frame to see some more stuff. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. And this is the order block that led to the entire thing. Where is it? Over here. So yeah, this buy was pretty nice. Um, was there enough risk to reward in that? Let me check. If you bought blindly, stop loss over here, and you cannot target higher than here. Yeah, it was 2.4. That was pretty nice. So right now this is a ranging market, and you remember when I talked about shenanigans? This is what I mean. So the plan was to see a breakout and then retest. Um, I guess you could argue that happened. I don't know. In my opinion, it didn't because this is exactly those range shenanigans I talk about. Uh, we don't want to see this V-shaped return and then go back up. And this is shallow as fuck as well. Like with a huge upper wick. I don't like that at all. What I would like to see instead is like a breakout all the way over here, let's say, and then a slower return, and then we could buy that. But yeah, that's not what happened, is it? And as you can see, we're back in the range, and usually if you get rejected at the top of the range, you're gonna go to the bottom of the range, so I'd expect some more interaction with this order block. And either you can buy over here, which is pretty well risk defined, or you can just wait for the setup. But if you buy here, let's say 266, your stop loss goes over here. I think that's a reasonable trade. The problem is that it's already the first, second, third touch. We want to trade the first, maybe the second. Third one is already asking for trouble, so not so sure about that one. Phantom. Okay. Well, I have some very, very old analysis on Phantom over here. What's that? Whoops. Back in the day. Okay, I guess I marked up the range over here, and then I wanted to see a flip, which happened. Beautiful. And then we continued up. Well, guess who didn't take this trade? Fucking hell. 50x. Oh my goodness. Um, Whatever, I can delete all of that. So, let's mark up some levels. Definitely this one. Resistance, resistance. Ooh, ooh, nice. Okay, so this order block over here. Boom. This order block over here is definitely one I'm interested in. Wait, yeah. So, right now, we're approaching resistance. Somewhere over here, doesn't really matter exactly. Resistance, support. So, now, the level that I would feel rather comfortable buying is this one. The order block with the previous all-time high over here. We just kind of went above a little bit. And now let's see, is this going to be a double top or are we going to continue? I don't know. Be that as it may, I'm not going to buy resistance. Like the risk to reward is not there and we cannot just blindly expect new highs. Or at least, well, maybe you can if you already sit on multiples and you don't give a shit that much. But getting a new fresh position up here is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of stupidity. I'm not going to do that. So what I would instead like to see, whoa, 70%, Jesus. Yeah, what I would like to see instead is a correction down here. And let's just check microstructure as well. Okay, so is it the point of breakdown? Hello? There it is. This is the point of breakdown. And what you can, I see this pattern playing out very, very often, where you have like a level from which we have a deep correction down, and then we go back up in like this rounded fashion. We go above it, then we retest, and we go up. And that usually is from this point of breakdown level, and it's very, very obvious most of the time. And as you can see, we had a very nice one over here. And that's exactly what I want to see when I talk about those breakouts and corrections. We had this entire move up, and then we corrected with a nice flagging stuff into it. We are still above the EMAs and everything, and this would have been a nice buy either over here or maybe on a breakout like over here. And the target, well, the target is at this point probably all-time highs, so which means over here, and that's where we got. But now, we had another test over here, which you can see is the first which we would like to trade and the second which we would like to trade. And right now, I think we are depleted. We don't have any more trades in order for this to continue. So gonna have to see with a bit more data. If it comes back here, I don't know if I would take that trade. Maybe, maybe. I'm not sure, honestly. Let's say this was the high. Just checking if there's an order block as well somewhere. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I guess there is. Really zoomed in here. All right, this. So yeah, maybe another trade in here with a stop loss over here. But how much is that? That's a deep, like 30% correction. Sheet. Yeah, we gotta wait. Flux. Um, said over here that it started to look a bit interesting, especially since we got back into the 50 EMA. I wouldn't buy this unless we got a breakout from here. That would mean, or that would indicate a very clean um, intention of the market to go higher. So let's say a 4-hour close somewhere over here would be a good buy, in my opinion, because this is on high volume. This is the corrective structure. We would kind of, what we would bet on here is wave 3, early wave 3. If it doesn't happen, oh well, too bad. But this is a good trade. So let me just put an alert over here as well. Boom. Buy flux. All right. Tarot. This is a potential double top over here, at least for this trend right now. Let's start on the daily though. Supply over here with clear level of resistance as well. This is a level of support. Middle. Yeah. So what's the plan right now? Well, I don't know, honestly. I don't think I know. Uh, let's zoom out a bit more. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I know I've been silent for a while, but I'm just trying to think what am I actually looking at. Anyway, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would I want to be long into high time frame resistance, big ass supply in huge, a huge momentum trade that went 7x? No, I wouldn't. Instead, maybe I would like to wait when it gets over here. Um, look for longs. Yeah, then I would maybe be interested. But right now, this is just, it's way too risky. It doesn't make any sense to buy over here. Okay, Tribe. Tribe is actually looking kind of interesting, mainly for one reason. So this level over here, the level of support, kinda managed to hold. I'm gonna just change it a little bit. Yeah, we dipped down here below as a deviation and instantly pumped back, which is cool. And we did it in a fashion where we did a rally base rally. Okay. And in a rally base rally that changes market structure based on this pivot, this is a good buy. Like, this is a very reasonable buy with a stop loss below here. Be that as it may, we already see that we're pretty deep in there. Maybe I would go to something like the 1 hour, although I don't usually use it, but here it would make sense. And I would wait for a 1 hour close above a certain level that would give me confidence that we might be going through. And I'm gonna mark up this one. If we manage to go above and close there, I think that's a buy. With a stop loss over here, of course. So yeah, that's a very very actual trade right now. Yeah, could work. So I'm gonna set an alert over here. If it goes there, I can buy because it's on KuCoin too, which is cool. Buy tribe. Okay, a few more. I don't think we do Woo. It's just something I watch myself. But it doesn't look too good. Nuo, okay. It's tough to say. Like, there's not much history here. And what we can see is that we had a little bit of a ranging market over here. Oh, what did I just do? Anyway, over here we had a ranging market, which eventually broke up, and now we're correcting. Now the question is, how far are we going to correct and where are some levels? Well, this previous resistance should now be support. Is that going to happen though? I don't know. If you want to bet on that, this is the trade. You buy here, you put your stop loss underneath the range, and you hope for the best. Well, it's a 2.8 R trade if you want to go to previous resistance. But this is showing no signs of life whatsoever. And the momentum is still pretty huge. So instead what I would do is I would wait a while and see how price is going to interact around this level that we expect to be support. For now, buying this is just like buying a falling knife. I'd like to see some signs of life. And Harmony is a very similar story to Phantom, honestly. Can immediately see an interesting. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so this isn't looking too good. Yeah, it's not looking hot, is it? 1, 2, 3, fourth touch. Breakdown. Okay, so this level, if this level flips to the downside, we're on the log, so. Ooh. What a push this was. Yeah, I don't like this. I really don't. Because you can see that we had a previous level of resistance over here, 1, 2 times. We broke through, which is cool. Then we corrected in a nice flagging kind of return, but then we couldn't bounce. We didn't have the strength to continue higher. And who would have guessed? I mean, it's right at all-time highs. Potential double top. You don't long over here. It doesn't make any sense. And now we are back into that range pre-breakout, and now we're also kind of sort of breaking this this diagonal. Still kind of alright for as long as we are above this level, but once we lose this level, it's gonna go down. It's gonna yeah, it's not gonna look very good. It already looks quite shit, but yeah, definitely not looking for any longs on Harmony. And last two things, DPX over here. I can just remove this. Look, I really expected this level to hold, but it didn't, which sucks. So what now? What now? Let me check the daily real quick. Okay. Very similar to, what was it? Two things that I liked. KP3R and I think there was FXS as well. Very similar. It had this candle. I guess these all run the same narrative, and that was a very, very nice trade. Absolutely brilliant if we took that. But unfortunately we didn't. So what now? If I go to the 4 hour here. What am I gonna see? A mess. This is this is a mess. Maybe I can see something better on the line chart. No, I can't. And this also ran like 5 fucking X. It's underneath all the MAs as well. I don't know. This thing just looks exhausted as well. You can see that the momentum of the downside moves is becoming huge. Like back here, it was just small pullbacks, right? But here we had the first one, 40%. Here we have 30%, and now we're down 40% again. I don't know, man. Um, we most likely lost some kind of trend line here as well. We definitely did. And this isn't looking too hot, unfortunately. Mm. Maybe I would get interested in buying this level again if we get there, 2.5k. But yeah, for now, not interested. And GMX, okay. So I called this a blow off top, which kind of happened. And now we broke back into this. And I would expect more downside because, again, this is a very mature trend. I think it ran 2x, 3x, sorry. And now the reason why I have this level marked here is that if we are to continue, I want to see a breakout of a structure. I want to see a market structure change once again. And this is the level that makes all the difference. And if we can break above here, then I would be looking for pullbacks to buy and continue higher because this is kind of the capping point. And we'll see if that happens. But for now, this is just equal highs and tests of supply, which is over here. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I still think we're gonna go lower. But if we don't, I would probably like to buy GMX over here. Oh, and last one is GLP. GLP dropped quite a bit as well, which sucks. Wait a second. I think it's here. Yeah. Yeah, GLP lost this flag and now it's continuing down. And if we have a 4-hour close below this low, I'm gonna get out because it's simply not worth it. So yeah, that's it. This took a little longer than I expected. I hope it was helpful in some kind of way. And yeah, let's continue with our collaboration and make some money. I wish you all a nice week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.